everyone, it's me, Mrs. Gronert, and if you remember, we've been learning about pond plants this week. And today we're going to do a fun art project to show one of the things we've learned about pond plants, and that is pond plants are good homes for animals. Let's take a look at what we're going to do. What we need is a lot of paper. So you're going to need a white sheet of paper, a blue sheet of paper, a green sheet of paper, another white sheet of paper, and at least one other color. So you need a lot of paper for this. The first thing I'm going to do is just take my white sheet of paper and set it down. Then I'm going to take my blue paper and draw a pond. Now, a pond is not a perfect circle. It's not a perfect oval. It's just kind of a wavy, bumpy thing. I'm not going to draw it. You could, if you wanted to, draw the shape of a pond, but you can just have fun with your scissors with this. Take the scissors and kind of go around and then up and around because you want your pond to be smaller than the white paper. Remember, ponds are not perfect, so whatever shape you get, it's good. I'm going to cut off that little corner there. Oh, I love my pond shape. What do you think? Good shape. So I'm going to take this and use just a little bit of glue again. Remember, dot, 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 and a couple in the middle. There we go. That's it. Little dots. And I'm going to take that and glue it onto my white paper. There we go. See that? Excellent. So I have a pond and a white paper. Now, I need the green paper. On the green paper, I'm going to cut out some pond plants. One of the pond plants that I want to cut a good amount of to put around the pond is tall grass. So what I'm going to do to make the tall grass, and this is really fun, is I'm going to make a strip of paper like this. Because the tall grass in the pond makes such a good home for so many different animals. Then I'm going to cut this piece into 4 smaller pieces so that I can have tall grass in a lot of places. Uh-oh, I just dropped my grass. Let me get that picked up. There we go. Now, I have my strip of paper. There we go. And it's folded. It makes it a lot easier. I'm going to cut on the folds so that I have 4 pieces. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut grass. One way that you can cut grass, and I'll do that with 2 of these, is to just take your paper and hold it and cut straight lines down. It makes great wavy grass, super easy to cut. Look at that. Now I have tall grass, and I can take my paper like this and fold it over. See how I'm folding the bottom? Fold it over and flatten it. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Fold it over and flatten it. Perfect. Look at that. Perfect. Now I'm going to take and glue, glue, glue. And I'm going to glue this part. See, I only put it on the fold. Now I'm going to glue this part down somewhere around the side of my pond. And do the same thing with my other. I'll show you one other way to make some tall grass. You can have 2 different types of tall grass around your pond. Okay, so here's this and this. And instead of doing straight lines, this one's a little bit harder. I'm going to do kind of some triangle shapes. Triangle, 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 triangle. Remember, when you're by a pond, you're going to see a lot of green. So we want to have a lot of green around our pond. Ooh, I love those shapes that I just cut too. So here we go. Same thing. Fold it. And now I can put this pond grass in a different place around my pond, right? Excellent. Okay, here we go. More pond grass. Now, something really fun is that I just cut a whole bunch of triangle pieces. I can use these triangle pieces to make algae in the water. First, I'll show you what happened to my pond grass. Look at that, it's standing up. It looks like real pond grass. Now I'm going to take those little triangle pieces and I'm going to glue them into the water in certain places so that it looks like pond algae. Because remember, algae is a type of plant that grows in a pond. I'm just gluing some of this algae on top of each other so it looks like it belongs where I'm putting it. It's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. And tiny bits of glue. Remember, you don't need a lot of glue. Just a little bit. Putting some over here. Tiny bits of glue to make some algae. And I'll show you what that turned out like. Remember, I didn't have to cut anything else. I just glued those triangle pieces from the grass onto there. Now I think I'll make some bushes. So I'll take my green paper again. I think I might just make 2 bushes, but I'll cut this in half. Pond animals love to have bushes to hide in. And I'm going to fold that in half again. And a bush is just kind of a bumpy thing, so I'm going to make the bottom flat to make it easier for me to cut. And I'm just going to kind of cut just like I did with the pond, just kind of bumpy shapes all around. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a bush. There we go. Now I have a bush, and I think my bush is going to have some beautiful red berries on it for the pond animals. They like to eat the berries. So I'll draw some little dots on my bush. Not a lot. There we go. You see I have dots and dots. Now I'm going to take and fold just like I did with the grass. There we go. Tiny bit of glue and glue it down. Oh, this is looking good. My pond is getting greener and greener. Same thing with the second bush. Fold the bottom and tiny bit of glue. Now I'll show you what happened. I think I have a lot of plants. This is really looking like a real pond. Look at that. All covered up with plants. Lots of places for animals and insects to hide. Now comes the fun part. Oh, now I get to take my white paper, and I'm going to use my white paper that I used for the words on my plant parts project. That way I don't waste paper. So I'm taking this paper and I get to draw some pond animals. Yes, I think that I will draw a duck. So I'll start with a little duck. Ducks love to hide at the shore of the pond. They really like to be where people don't see them so much, so I might draw 2 ducks that can hide there. That's what I want to do. Draw those ducks. There we go. So I have 2 ducks, and I'm going to hide them in my pond. I want to make sure when I'm doing my ducks that I can cut them out and find a great place for them to hide in the pond, because ducks love hiding in the pond. I'm taking my time to cut these pretty quickly. I don't want to waste my time. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the grass and with the bushes. And I'm going to fold the very bottom of the duck just like that. And I'm going to use just a tiny bit of glue. Notice what I'm doing. A tiny bit of glue right there. And then my duck can be hiding behind the grass in the pond. Look at that. So much fun. I can add more animals. You can add frogs. You could add a beaver. You can add insects. I can't wait to see what animals you add. Go ahead and work on your ponds. When you finish, I want to see what you've done. Send a picture of your finished pond with your animals hiding in it to Seesaw. I can't wait to see it.